Welcome to the Riff Report After Hours, the corner of the internet lacking the most amount of light. I'm Ryan,
And I'm Tyler.
and we're here to talk about things punk metal and alternative with a goofy little twist. Today, Tyler has a little activity for us that only he knows about, and he's going to explain it to us right now.
Yes, today I decided to go a little easy on you. Uh, and not test friendships like I said in the last episode. I'm gonna go ahead and just celebrate our friendship and give you a list of bands that I have personally curated. And you're gonna tell me, and I'll join in a little bit too. We're gonna talk about if they are overrated or underrated. This is mathcore hardcore edition. A lot of these bands that I picked sit within those genres. I figured you could get into that pretty easily. Um, it'll
I
give me a
can, you're
chance to
right.
kind of, listen to some other fucking bands and talk about a different genre than metalcore. So let's jump right in. We've been talking about these guys a lot. They just recently had a new album drop. The band is Converge. What are we thinking? Overrated or underrated, Ryan?
Hell yeah. I like where this list is starting. And I feel like no matter what I say, some people are going to find what I have to say contentious. And that is probably true. But also, I'm not taking my answers all too seriously, although I will give them as much thought as I possibly can.
Oh yeah.
With Converge, the issue that we have is that they are rated pretty highly already, especially in the genre and topic that we're talking about right now.
Right.
Um, their their 2001 album Jane Doe was like is like mathcore fucking gold. Um, And then shit just keeps getting better and better from there.
Right.
2009, they released Axe to Fall, which their song Dark Horse from that um, shows up in pop culture quite often. Um, and then in more recent years, I mean, we've talked about it on episodes. They got their new album, Love Is Not Enough. Blood Moon, we talked about a little bit,
Yep.
was a little bit different. um, that includes Chelsea Wolfe, little collaboration album. So it is a little more on the ominous side, a little spookier,
Ooh.
a little more experimental. But for the most part, a lot of their stuff is just really fast paced um, and just like in your face. With Jacob Bannon having a pretty I'd say unique style of vocals,
Uh-huh.
which is definitely a drawing point for me. Um, fuck, man, I have to say, I'll have to say that even though they are very influential and very talked about, very hyped,
Uh-huh.
I think they're not hyped enough. I'm going underrated.
I like that.
Mainly because I think they were very big in the 2000s, but you didn't know who they were until recently, so
Right.
that means they haven't done their job.
Right. Not enough marketing, not enough,
So,
you know what I mean? I gotta agree with you. Underrated. Like, I'm not really a guy who goes out and listens to the most popular music. I'm kind of on the back end of, I'm looking for niche artists, different things. Um And having listened to, like, this type of music for so long, like, I enjoy mathier, gentier, more complicated riffs, shit like that. And these guys were perfect, and the fact that I like you said, haven't heard of them until just recently is insane to me. So,
It was
way to go
insane.
for getting on Audio Tray, but come on, guys, pick up the pace, market yourselves more. You deserve it. You should be at the top of the game. That's my 2 cents. Underrated. I agree with that.
All right, all right.
Is that all you wanted to say about
Hell
Converge?
yeah.
We can talk about them all fucking night if you want. This is just gonna be Converge Central if you wanted to.
Nah, I don't think we need to do
All right.
that. I do. I like them a lot. I
Mhm.
think you should go check out their new album.
Yeah.
Um, fucking love is not enough, dude.
Yeah.
Out now. Check them out.
Hell yeah. All right. Next up, I've got. We'll see what you think about these guys. Kubla Khan TX. Are they overrated or underrated?
Um, dude, fucking love these guys. Tough as fuck. Um, they are on the newer side, I'd say. They came, I mean, they put their first album out in 2014. So they've been around for a while, but they didn't really start blowing up until I'd say right around 2019-ish,
Uh-huh.
with Absolute. That album just kind of fucking blew them up. Um, and then they had the EP Lowest Form of Animal come out in 2022, which featured uh a collaboration with Scott Vogel on Swan Song, which was a fucking killer track. Um fucking Here for Women's Rights. Fucking that's awesome. And then 2024 is when they really fucking started stepping shit up a little
Right.
bit. Or I'd say 23 with the drop of Theory of Mind. That was a killer track,
Yeah.
real knuckle dragger.
Right.
And then they put out Low Tech, which was another fucking killer track. We also saw another Nail for Your Coffin in 2024, which was a Lamb of God track featuring Kuba Khan and Malevolence, and that track was awesome. Then we got the drop of Exhibition of Prowess, which that fucking album is fantastic. Features Dave Peters from fucking um God, why am I fucking blanking right now? He's not in Throwdown, is he? I can't.
I think he is in
I
Throwdown.
can't.
18
Is he
Visions,
in Throwdown? Nope.
Throwdown.
Throwdown.
Yeah.
So yeah, features Dave Peters from Throwdown and then Jamie Josta, fucking legend, of course. So I mean, between all those guys, you got some pretty heavy hitting fucking hardcore influences showing up on their tracks. Um, I love these guys. I like to tear shit up in the pit to their music. Um, I especially like to listen to their music while lifting weights. Um,
Yeah, they are the perfect
this is
weightlifting band for sure. I will
Yeah,
give you
this
that.
is like, dude, fucking, I'm telling you, dude, Slaughter to Prevail and Kuba Khan are like the best fucking
Right.
weightlifting fucking bands. But dude, as much as I love them, I've seen these guys live. I push them on lots of people. I fucking love this band, but they're overrated.
Okay.
And the only reason I'll say that is
Uh-huh.
because Um, obviously they've blown up a lot recently.
Right.
And they're all over the place. I mean, I feel like last year, fucking once a month, a band was putting out a song with Matt Honeycutt.
Right. Yeah.
Um, but um it's just we can be honest here and say the music is not technical at all.
Yeah.
There is
That
no innovation.
exactly.
It's just straight knuckle dragging, fucking feet on the pavement,
Yep.
fucking fist to face,
Right.
just hardcore fucking
Mhm.
jams.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's nothing crazy, but it sound good.
Right. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I 100% agree with you on that. I think Kubla Khan is overrated. Um I enjoy them too, but I don't enjoy them enough to be like, "Oh my god, this is the best band ever. You have to listen to them." Yeah, if I'm in a conversation where someone's like, "Hey, what's the most hardcore band you've listened to?" I'm honestly thinking Kublai Khan. You know what I mean? They've got the Monster Energy cooler on stage now. That's hardcore as fuck, dude. That's awesome. That's tough. Um,
Yeah.
and when you say knuckle dragging, I think of Amir. I think of Kublai Khan. Those are the top two. That's what it is. You know what I mean? It's not meant to be complicated. I mentioned mathcore as the main part of this list, and that was my plan. But then I wanted to throw in a little ringer for you to really make you think. And Kublai Khan came up, and I'm
I
like, all right, let's
surprised you.
go a little. Honestly, kind of like not completely though. I had a feeling you would say overrated because it's exactly that. Like they've had so many features. They've blown up so much. We hear about them all the time. You're a little overrated, you know what I mean? You're an honest individual, all right?
Yeah.
You'll yeah. I kind of
I'll
expected
tell
you to say
you,
overrated, yeah.
even though I love these guys, I'll straight up tell you they're not a good band.
You know what I
They
mean?
just write good music. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Um,
But sometimes that's not
but I
enough.
mean, like, the thing that killed me was that when they came out with the album Exhibition of Prowess, I was listening to it and I was like, fucking, I'm a drummer.
Mhm.
Um, I'll call vocals like my second thing.
Okay.
Outside of that, I'm not m- much of a musician. I
Right.
like and understand music. I'm
Uh-huh.
just not a very good stringed instrument player.
Right.
I do, I have dabbled,
Mhm.
um, and I know very little and I know the basics. But as I was listening through that album, I just couldn't help but think, I was like, man, I feel like if somebody gave me tabs, I could pick a guitar up and play this
Play a
album
Kublai Khan song
straight through
easily.
without, yeah,
Yeah,
without much struggle.
exactly. Yeah, that's pretty fair.
Yeah, it's all pretty simple.
Now, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little thing onto this. I'm going through and looking up, like I said, I'm on YouTube Music. That's my main listening avenue. I'm looking up their subscribers on YouTube. Converge only has
Uh-huh.
25,000 subscribers, so underrated. I think that's fair. Kubla Khan. Now, this doesn't correlate to monthly listens. Some of them have it, some of them don't. Um, Converge has 100,000 monthly listeners. So that's kind of a lot. You know what I mean? Kublai Khan didn't have that information, so I don't know, but I'm sure it's a whole hell of a lot more because they're the newest thing. You know what I mean? Kublai Khan has 36,000 subscribers, though, so it is more than Converge. And based on that metric, I think, yeah, they're a little overrated, or at least a lot more people are on Kublai Khan's
They know
side.
about them.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So we've got that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can agree with you on whatever you said about Kublai Khan. Any other points to make?
Nope.
Alrighty, we'll move right on to this next one. I think it's hilarious that I put these guys on the list, not because they correlate, but I put these guys on the list, and then I saw your track of the week on the previous episode, for our
Yeah.
news and releases, and I was like, wow, this is fucking perfect. But I have thrown Dillinger Escape Plan on this list. What do you
Yeah.
think? Overrated or underrated?
Man, what do I think? I think that Dillinger Escape Plan are obviously an amazing band. Um, Through and through, I have been a fan of just about every single work that they put out. They, unlike Converge, have not as many things on their releases.
Mhm.
So a little bit smaller of a sample size, though nothing to fucking like scoff at. They've got two, four, six, eight albums. Yeah, eight albums.
Mhm.
Two, four, six, eight. Yeah. All right. Um, and they're all good in their own right. We talked about it in the news episode earlier in the week, but the under the running board and calculating affinity, um, both big advances in math core world, especially calculating infinity. Their song 43% burnt was like a giant fucking math core track. Um, those albums featured their earlier vocalist who they are currently on tour with right now doing
Yeah.
a reunion tour. Um, but then they got Greg Puciato, who I'm a big fan of, starting in 2004 with Miss Machine. Then in 2007, you had Ironworks. And then a big one was 2009's Option Paralysis for me. 2013's One of Us is a Killer was also a great album. And then, of course, 2016's Disassociation was a pretty great album as well. All in all, I would say I think Dillinger is still underrated.
Okay.
And I'll say that because I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like more people took Converge's side of things back in the day.
Okay.
Dillinger was like obviously a huge influence for a lot of people, but I feel like Converge got pushed harder. And considering that I think that they're underrated,
Uh-huh.
I'll go ahead and I'll say Dillinger's underrated. I think they more people should know about them and should listen to their music.
Hell yeah. All right. I
Yeah.
think Dillinger, I think they're overrated. They're a great band. Don't get me wrong. I've enjoyed anything I've listened to them perform on play. I haven't seen them live because they had that hiatus and then just recently got back. But um, I don't know. I just feel like I hear about Dillinger all the fucking time. Like if anyone's ever got a band to plug in, you want something fast, you want something, screamy, you know what I mean? Dillinger always comes up in my view, in whatever circles or whatever. I just feel like they're talked about all the time. And this is coming from not having a lot of exposure to them. Like I said, I have listened to them, but they're not a band I go out of my way to listen to. And maybe that correlates to my like dislike of I've discussed this in the past, but when I get enough people who are like, you have to listen to these guys, it instantly turns me off. I'm like, maybe I don't have to. Maybe you're all just sheep and I think you're fucking brainwashed and that's why you love them so much. I'm a hipster through and through, dude.
All right.
And
So
like I
now
said,
I know how to manipulate you.
you do. And Dillinger is one of those bands that everyone's like, "Oh my god, you gotta love these guys." We were talking about in the last episode, like you're so surprised that I haven't listened to Dillinger that much because they should be in my realm, and I kind of lean towards now that I've had enough time to kind of listen to them after 15, 20 years of listening to people tell me I should listen to them. Finally, I'm getting to it, and yeah, they're pretty fucking good, but over those years, I think everyone plugs them in when they can, and I am voting overrated, but this isn't
All
my
right.
episode, it's yours. You think they're underrated. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is kind of a connection. I planned this a little bit. Better
I see that.
Lovers contains the previous vocalist, the replacement vocalist of Dillinger, Greg Puciato. Better Lovers, are they overrated or underrated? There is a right answer, and I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Well,
I
I
think
can
you
tell you that I'm
uh
probably we're probably not going to agree, but
I think you
I
know
think this
exactly
band's
why we won't
awesome.
agree, but that's fine.
I think I do know,
Yep.
but anyways, I I love this band. They're great.
Uh-huh.
Um I mean honestly, having looked at this list,
Yeah.
I'll tell you I love all the bands. It that's
Exactly.
we're not discussing that. Um
Right.
we're discussing whether they're overrated or underrated. And
Exactly.
um Better Lovers, they've got a handful of like EP single work
Yeah, haven't been around as
put
long.
out, but they haven't been around as long. They've only got one album out. So not a very big sample size, unfortunately. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just come out and say it. I think they're overrated, and that the only reason.
Oh, okay.
Oh, uh,
Alright.
the only reason I think they're overrated
Uh-huh.
is because it could just be the way that media has changed since this band has become a thing.
Right.
But there's a lot of there's a lot of avenues for bands to market now that there
Mhm.
wasn't back in the day.
Right.
So Dillinger, I found that organically. Uh how I don't know. It was either through related artists or through fans of music of people that I trusted, that I took their word and I started listening to it.
Yeah.
Either way, it was a more organic situation with Better Lovers. They grew up in the era of being able to market themselves on the internet. They started in the world of podcasts,
Mhm.
where you can fucking get out there and talk about your album for an hour and a half, and make people think that you're cool and
Right.
change their outlook on things.
Yeah.
And that I feel like is what Better Lovers has done. When they first came out or when they were first putting out music, and then even leading up into the release of their only album, Highly Irresistible, they were hitting fucking podcasts hard,
Right.
and I saw plenty of interviews with them. I saw plenty of promos and shit. So they were just like always in my face.
Right.
And uh I obviously Greg Puciato, the dudes from fucking Every Time I Die. You got Will Putney from Fit for an
Yeah. This
Autopsy.
is a
Those
super
are no
group, if we've ever
jokes.
heard of one.
Yeah,
Exactly. Right.
for sure. Yeah, this is no joke by any means. But if I start with like let's just say 30 under 13
Yeah.
for instance, when I listen to this,
Uh-huh.
if you told me that this was a Dillinger Escape Plan song, I would believe you.
Right.
Um
And that
and then
goes kind of into
like
the conversation of, like, vocalists making bands, you know what I mean? Yeah, the music's just as important, but
yeah,
once you hear that vocalist you know, like, you're automatically stuck on either things that they've done, things that they're a part of, all that, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean not just that, but like even like it's a little surprising being the fact that the guitarists are from Every Time I Die and Fit for an Autopsy. I mean, you would think that they would have a distinct sound to them, but they kind of just like step outside of their comfort zone and they start playing music that's similar to Dillinger,
Right.
because these guitar parts don't exactly strike me as Every Time I Die parts,
Exactly.
you
Right.
know?
There were some
Like
mathy kind of right, exactly, you
there's a
know?
little bit,
Right.
but it feels like Dillinger a lot.
Right. Yeah, I can agree with that. So, uh you fucking threw me for a loop, dude. I thought you were gonna say underrated. I figured you would have thrown them a bone, and with Greg and Will and all that, you wanted more people to listen to them. But yeah, I I agree. They're fucking overrated. I feel like because they've got Greg and Will and the Every Time I Die guys with all the marketing, you touched every point that I had in my mind. You stole that from me, you son of a bitch. Um,
Didn't
but yeah,
steal nothing.
they're not a bad band. I do enjoy listening to them. They will pop
Yeah,
in, and their album Highly Irresponsible was pretty fucking dope. But you know
yeah.
me, I'm a Keith stan 100%, and I'm a Many Eyes guy. So if I have to choose between these guys, I'm going with Many Eyes every time. So,
All right.
yeah. Alrighty, we're gonna move on. Next up, we've got Full of Hell. What are we thinking? Overrated, underrated?
So this was the band on the list that I was like, when you talk about when we bring up the next band, those two kind of go hand in hand.
Right.
But from what we've talked about already,
Uh-huh.
these guys
They get a
are
little
kind of
heavier.
outliers.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little heavier.
Right.
Um, I think I'll just come out and I'll say, um, I don't listen to them a ton, but I think they're I think they're underrated. I don't really hear a ton of people talking about him all that much.
Right.
Um, I started listening to them in 2017 with their release of Trumpeting Ecstasy. I remember that fucking album cover uh very vividly when
Uh-huh.
it first fucking came out. And then I've listened to them since. They recently, in the past couple of years, in 2023, they did come out with a split album with Nothing called, sorry, called When No Birds Sang. It's a six track song or fucking album. Jesus Christ. Um, Being released off of Closed Casket Activities. And it's just got straight up, the whole album is just 100% split, full of hell, nothing. Uh, and that album actually has some awesome songs. Um, so yeah, all things considered, uh, yeah, they're underrated.
Hell yeah.
I'll say not by much, but I don't know that they get 100% of the credit they deserve. Although I am seeing that they were just recently on Audio Tree last
Yeah, I was
year
gonna bring that
too.
up if you didn't.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
All
I don't have
right.
a ton of thoughts on this band.
Right. I did get to see them last year on tour with Cannibal Corpse and Municipal Waste. And I gotta
Yeah.
say, I think they were the perfect band to be on tour with those two bands because they've got that kind of like thrashy feel of Municipal, and then that kind of like black metal, death metal feel of Cannibal Corpse. You know what I mean? They had a great
Yeah.
energy. That was the first time I'd ever heard of them. They followed up Fulci, and dude, like looking at that pit, I was like, whoa, like it wasn't they didn't have a large crowd, like people were kind of milling about at that point, waiting for Municipal and Cannibal Corpse to play. But dude, they fucking blew it out of the water. I thought they were awesome. Their set, it felt quick, but only because I feel like a lot of their songs kind of hit that thrash kind of feeling where like they're a little bit shorter. You know what I mean? Like 2 minutes and shit like that or less.
Right.
They seemed a little bit younger too, but once again, hadn't heard of them before this. I definitely listen to them now that I've seen them live. Um, they're a little bit, I'm not gonna say newer. They've been around for a while, but yeah, I think I'm gonna agree with you. You don't hear about Full of Hell as much. Maybe now recently that they've got some tours under their belt, some albums and shit, but I don't think enough. So I'm gonna agree with you. Underrated. I
Oh yeah.
agree with that. Cool. Alrighty. This next one you kind of mentioned it, but we've got Pig Destroyer coming up. What are you thinking?
Hell yeah. I fucking love Pig Destroyer.
Hell yeah.
Um I mean 2001's Prowler in the yard is fucking, you can't fucking say much about that. It's like fucking gold. Then 2004's Terrifier
Mhm.
was amazing. Fast in your face. It's got some creepy titties on the front cover of the album, so
Yeah,
that's
right.
always great.
Yeah.
Um, then 2007's Phantom Limb. This album is fan fucking tastic. Um, Love it. And then um in 2012, Book Burner. that came out, changed my fucking life. I
Hell
loved
yeah.
that album super hard that year. I listened to it into the ground, and I have this album on vinyl and pull it out every once in a while. It's
Nice.
amazing. Have it on a 180 gram, and it's just a thick, wonderful quality piece of vinyl I got there. Um, but that album came with a bonus like EP of covers, which I think are the most awesome genre transcending tracks that I've listened to in a while. Pig Destroyer fucking covers a ton of awesome um huge fucking punk songs
Mhm.
such as Depression, um Wolf's Blood, Lights Out, Betray, um fucking killer songs by
Nice.
super big fucking influential punk bands. Uh and to be honest with you, like I'll tell people listen to Blind Deaf and Bleeding before you listen to Book Burner, because I think it's fucking I think those tracks are bigger selling points than
Hell yeah.
the actual album itself.
Right.
Um but yeah, then you had fucking Head Cage and then the Octagonal Stairway, which I didn't really listen to that album all that much. Because I don't know, 2020. I mean, everybody's heads were in a different space, but I didn't even realize that that came out. To be honest with you,
Oh,
um, and then but Head Cage, that was a good album too. I like the fucking front cover, uh, pretty cool concept.
hell yeah.
So yeah, I'll go. You know what? I'll go. Hmm. You know, I think these guys, similar to like similar to like Napalm Death, um, and like Cattle Decapitation,
Mhm.
and like Cannibal Corpse. They're like big,
Right.
but obviously far from mainstream.
Right.
Um, man, you know, it when it comes down to it, like if you were to put up Cattle Decapitation, um, Napalm Death, Pig Destroyer,
Yeah.
uh I if you were like, which one's the best? I'm picking Pig Destroyer. So therefore, I have to say, I think I think they're underrated.
Okay. Hell yeah.
I think people go for that like Cannibal Corpse or Cattle Decapitation
Right.
without really giving Pig Destroyer much thought. And I think they should,
Yeah.
because Pig Destroyer is better.
Hell yeah. Sick. This is a band that I haven't really listened to much in the past. Granted, as we probably have all discovered, I don't listen to a lot of music just like this. Like you said, Cal Decapitation, Cannibal Corpse, Pig Destroyer. I don't know. I was gonna say, I don't know. Out of a lot of these bands, they have not necessarily one of the higher ones. They're actually they're fourth lowest in the monthly subscribers list. Um, I was gonna say overrated because I feel like a lot of they kind of get hit with that classic black metal, like we're gonna put something super gory and our name's gonna be Pig Destroyer and everyone's gonna love us because we're shock value. But like I don't really hear about them a lot, honestly.
Right.
When I was making this list, I was just looking through on YouTube. Like, I'd pick a band. I started with Converge, and then I'm looking for bands that are similar. You know what I mean? You might like these. And
Yeah.
got to Full of Hell, and Pig Destroyer came up. I'm like, oh fuck, who are these guys? I feel like I've heard of them. And honestly, I don't dislike them. They're pretty fucking good. I'm listening to Wolf's Blood right now, and it's got that kind of uh low quality uh thrash that I'm kind of into. Like it's not it's fast, it's heavy, it's it would be loud if they had mastered it differently, but that's the point.
Right.
Like it's It's good, dude. Like, it's just fucking yeah.
It's funny that you bring that up because if you listen to the production quality of Book Burner itself,
Uh-huh.
it sounds great.
Okay.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
They purposely dumbed down the recording quality of the extra EP
Right.
to match the punk vibes that
Okay.
they're trying
And
to
that's what
accomplish.
I get out of it, you know what I mean? Just like a DIY, like, "Hey, we just ripped this recording real quick. We wanted to get something out there for you guys." You know, we did it, not Rick Rubin, you know, not Will Putney,
Right.
like, we did this, and I love that for them, so I'm gonna agree with you. I think they're underrated. More people need to listen to these guys, so fuck yeah, dude.
Hell
I
yeah.
love that. Um,
Are you those people?
I am those people, dude. You got me. I've been convinced. All right, we're gonna move on to the next band, Car Bomb. I'm pretty sure you brought these
Yeah.
guys up quite a few times in the past, if not on the Riff
I
Report, just in general. So, what are you thinking? Are we overrated or underrated on Car Bomb?
You're actually wrong. I don't think I've brought these guys up to you at all because
What the?
I actually forgot about this band.
Okay. What am I thinking of
Um,
then?
I'm not super sure actually.
What?
Either
Yeah,
what?
go. I was gonna say what is that? The Blink 182. What's that other band or whatever? That didn't they have like something
Uh,
else?
they had a
Travis?
band called Boxcar Racer. Is that what you're
That's not
thinking
it.
of?
No, that can't be it. I don't know what the fuck I was
Uh,
thinking that. It can't be that. All right,
I
well,
have no idea.
all right, well. It
Either
sounds like you
way,
might have known. Yeah, what's up with Car
fucking
Bomb?
yeah, I don't really listen to these guys. Well, I mean, I don't think anybody listens to them anymore
Right.
because they don't put out music anymore, really.
Yeah, right.
But or at least I don't think they do. I'll have to go on their Bandcamp because I did a little bit of research leading up to this because I was like, man, I was like, Car Bomb. I haven't thought about that band in a long time. So I started looking and they were on Relapse Records for their first album, Centralia, which is a good album. And then they got dropped by so they are still putting out music.
Yeah.
Um, but they were dropped by Relapse after quite a while. I mean, Centralia came out in 2007, and then they were dropped before their next album could come out. So I don't know if it was just because they took so long, or if there was more drama involved in that. I couldn't find on the internet. But they were dropped and then decided to ultimately continue just self-producing music and putting it out via Bandcamp, which I think is awesome.
Right.
I think more people should get into that because that's how music's going to be saved. But they had their next album in 2012, which is hard to pronounce, but from the research that I did, it sounds like some people refer to this album as the the wavelength album,
Okay.
which I guess the guitarist had said he's fine with that. Apparently, it's supposed to be pronounced W click W.
Okay.
Um, Either way, this album is straight Meshuggah worship, and I love it. It is definitely more sloppy, and a little wackier, but it definitely has the like low tuned guitars. The vocals are pretty similar. You got that genty, uh, rhythmic beats behind it. Definitely a change up from Centralia, which was a little bit lighter, a little bit more mathcore, I guess you would say.
Right.
That album fit more along the lines with Dillinger
Yeah.
and Converge's early days,
Right.
and then they kind of changed things up from there. But I haven't really listened to any of their newer stuff. Those are really the only two albums that I listened to, and
Okay.
now I'm trying to listen to some of their newer stuff from 2025, and it sounds pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm listening to the 3 tracks off of Tiles Whisper Dreams EP, and pretty sick. Still got that like same like genty tone, the deeper guitars. I like it. Either
Hell yeah.
way, I'm gonna say this band's underrated because I totally forgot that they even existed.
Right.
And I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'd say I'm pretty well versed in the musical scene.
Right.
I at least know I can recognize a band name when I see one.
Exactly.
And these guys fall short.
I agree. I was listening to them earlier while I was making this list. I'm looking at their Wikipedia, and it sounds like they've toured with a lot of great bands. Um, let's see, they did a couple of tours with Gojira and Dillinger, Periphery, Animals as Leaders, so they're connected to awesome fucking bands. On
Yeah.
W Click W, Joseph Duplantier of Gojira had some guest
Yep.
vocals, as well as on their next album, um, what is it, Meta. So they've got some bigger names that support them as well, but this was the first today was the first day I've ever heard of Car Bomb. And you really surprised the hell out of me because I figured you would have known who these guys are when we mentioned that earlier. But I agree with that. I think they need more awareness of Car Bomb and
Yeah.
just some support so we can get more albums out of them, dude. I hate that people. I don't know. I looking a little online. I was doing some research. There's some posts on Reddit like, "Oh my god, I just discovered these guys. What else can I listen to, or what's good and all that." So there's a little bit of talk here and there about them, but not enough. And we need more car bombs. So underrated.
Agreed.
Sounds about right. Uh all right, we're gonna move on to this next one. I know you've mentioned these guys before. Uh Night versus. Let's hit it.
Yeah.
Underrated or overrated?
These guys these guys are way different than everything else on the list.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, I definitely talked about these guys in the past. We just talked about the new band, the new supergroup Held, which features the vocalist and guitarist from, or ex vocalist from Night Versus,
Mhm.
um, who is also in The Sleeping before this. So, like I've explained in previous episodes, Night Versus is pretty much 50-50 split between what was a like uh we'll say experimentally emo post-hardcore band for 2 of their releases into a heavier instrumental band for their last 2 releases.
Uh-huh.
Lift Your Existence, their first album, is killer straight through. Um, I highly recommend it. I just love that album so
Yeah.
much.
I gave it
Um,
a couple of listens after your recommendation last week, and I was a fan of it. I put them in this list because I feel like some of the riffs that they have get a little widdly, kind of complicated, kind of that stuff. Like in my mind, mathy, but
yeah,
I agree with you. Yeah, they are
yeah,
a little bit different compared to some of the other ones. So,
yeah. Their guitarist Nick DePiro is super fucking talented. But they are definitely heavier in their last 2 releases where
uh-huh.
they go instrumental. Um, but yeah, when I got into them was actually before um or after the dude from The Sleeping left the band. Unfortunately, I found out about them in 2018 with their album From the Gallery of Sleep.
Okay.
Or I guess it was leading up into that album,
Right.
because I was following their drummer Arik and Proda on Instagram. He posts a lot of really cool videos
Oh yeah.
and was like teasing this album. And I was interested for sure. That album is great from start to finish. Um, it's really, I know, instrumental music that when somebody says something like that like sounds like super boring. This band is far from boring.
Yeah.
Uh, and like I said, their guitarist Nick DePiro, uh, he works a pedal board like a fucking master. So he's got lots of like cool, interesting sounds coming from him. A lot of delay, a lot of cool effects and stuff like that. Their drummer is fucking crazy. He's all over the place,
Right.
fast as lightning. Um, so yeah, I love these guys. And I say they're underrated because I don't know that I've met any other person that knows this band.
Uh, yeah, you're talking to one right now. I had never heard of them before you fucking mentioned them, and we brought them up in conversation through the Riff Report, but they definitely fall into a couple of the genres that I listen to. Like I said, Animals as Leaders, they kind of have that feel, Periphery, that widdly woo and everything. Um, I'm surprised I hadn't heard of them before, so I'm guessing your answer. I'm gonna let you answer first, though. I don't. Did you?
Yeah, I said
Oh,
underrated.
yeah, I agree with that. Underrated. Sorry, I'm on my third beer already. Uh, I'm losing my mental steam. I agree. Night Versus is underrated. I want to see more of them. Um, we'll see what's up with Held. Like you said, the vocalist is now in that band, and from what I remember from that video, that was the one with like the mirrors and shit, right? They were in like a
Yeah,
yeah, that was a pretty sick track, and it doesn't exactly correlate to this just with the vocalist, but um
right.
yeah, I think I need to listen to these guys. So at least in my sphere, my realm, my bubble, Night Versus is underrated, and I would like to hear and see more from them. So cool, good answer.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we're gonna move on to this next one. Norma Jean. They overrated or underrated? And once again, I guess there's no right answer. Never mind, forget it. But
There's
what do you
not.
think?
All right. So this band, I've been a big fan of these guys for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Um, let's see. Fucking yeah, Bless the Martyr, and Kiss. Great album. Um, obviously these guys are very young throughout this, so I can't fucking discredit them for not being the most crazy of writers here, but
Right.
I mean, the song "Face to Face," I liked the discordant nature of that song. "Memphis Will Be Laid to Waste" was a giant song for me. Um, so yeah, that one was good. Very discordant. Um, little on the math Corey side,
Uh-huh.
but not as like technical. They were just like more like fast, discordant, in your face.
Right.
Oh God, the Aftermath, great album.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just fucking great.
Yeah.
They start. I mean, they're still pretty similar to the way they were in Bless the Martyr, um, but um, they're just like a little more fucking ironed out
Right.
here.
Yeah.
Um, so I listened to Oh God, the Aftermath more than I listened to Bless the Martyr, Kiss the Child.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then let's see, 2006's Redeemer. Um, Blueprints for Future Homes was like a big track, big single for this album.
Yeah.
And I was a big fan of it, even though this was a big major change of sound for Norma Jean. They still had like a similar writing style, but they got a little more cleaned up, a little more polished. And the recording quality definitely sounds a lot better.
Right.
Then you go into the Anti Mother, which is a great album as well. Viper Snakes and Actors, super good. I still to this day, when you tell me to put on a Norma Jean song, um, I fucking love Robots 3, Humans 0.
One of the best tracks of all
Um,
time. Any band, anywhere. I love that fucking song.
I love it. Um, and let's see, you go into Meridional. Uh, I fucking love this album start to finish as well. But the beginning of the album is fantastic. Deadbed Atheist was one of my favorite songs off the album.
Yep.
A Media Friendly Turn for the Worse is another track that I love a lot. Super catchy. And then you start to lose a little bit for me here. I did listen to Wrongdoers a lot.
Uh-huh.
Um, Sword in Mouth, Fire Eyes, good song. Wrongdoers. Um, if you got it at 5, I got it at 50. Um, they're just a lot of good songs. Um, and then I can't really speak on Polar Similar, All Hail, or Death Rattle Sing Me. I didn't really listen to them enough, so I can't comment
Uh-huh.
on those at all because I literally
I'll
have
tell
no
you, if you
idea.
liked Wrongdoers, you will like Polar Similar. That was the
Okay.
Polar Similar was the last album I truly enjoyed from Norma Jean. All Hail had a couple of good songs. Was it Mind Over Mind? Was one of their first singles from it. Landslide Defeater as well. I remember those specifically when they came out. And then With
Yeah.
Errors, though all three of those were singles. Everything else I just kind of, you know what I mean, fell off of. And
Yep.
then like Death Rattle Sing for me, like I completely lost not necessarily faith in the band, but I feel like enough core members had left and they'd replaced, and now they're trying to like let those other members like get their pieces into the mix, and it just kind of fizzled out and fell apart. You know, they're not bad albums. It finally got to be too different. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I can agree with you on everything that you stated about Norma Jean. They've just been a huge part of my life. I needed a reason to plug them in. You know what I mean? And I'm glad you could share that moment with me because I know you're a pretty big fan of them. So, but
Yes.
what are you thinking? Are we overrated or underrated?
Well, so I was going to bring it up because I feel like this does play a little bit of a part into it.
Uh huh.
Um, but Norma Jean is the only heavy band that I know of that has a 20th Century Masters
Yeah.
best of
Right.
album,
Yeah. Out of all these
which
guys,
is,
exactly. Uh huh.
dude, wild to think that they would be a part of that.
Uh huh.
Um, and that is fucking awesome and amazing. I mean,
Right.
and you go through the track list, like this is not a bad track list
Right.
by any means either. Um, so I love it. Um, m- my only problem here is that I do feel like they're pretty heavily um pretty heavily glorified in this scene.
Uh huh.
The 20th Century Masters kind of really
Kind of
sells it
gives it
for me. I think
away.
they're
Yeah.
I think they're a little overrated, man.
Yeah, out of this list and out of, I had between you and me, like what we listen to and being in this genre, having listened to this genre, I feel like they're besides so Kubla Khan, Dillinger, and Norma Jean, I think are the three biggest names out of this list. Now, Converge, yes, has had a lot of time. I think out of all these guys, the most time as a band. But I
Yeah.
hear about those 3 guys more than any other band out of this list. I gotta agree with you. They're a little overrated. We hear about them a lot. They've had their time. I'm not saying it's time to hang it up. Keep making music, guys. I love you. You retweeted me
Yeah.
back in 2012, and I thought that was the coolest moment ever. I want to hear from some of these other bands a little bit more. Maybe shift a little to the side, tour for a couple years. You know what I mean? Figure out where you're at,
Yeah.
but let's make some room for some of these other guys, for sure.
I mean, they got a catalog good enough to where I feel like they could probably just tour and not put out any new music
You know what I mean?
anymore and just be fine.
Yeah. Uh, I agree, but I don't agree because I want to see more new stuff from them. I want them to redeemer themselves from Death Rattlesing for me. Come on, guys. That's not your best work, and you know it. Uh we've got one last band for you guys. This band, I'm just gonna have a little preamble. They haven't released music in a very long time. But
No, they haven't.
on a lot of lists of mathcore, hardcore, anything like that, they are usually on that list. So Ryan, take it away. Let's talk about Botch. Are they overrated or underrated?
Well, Botch is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, obviously a big fan of these guys, but they did break up quite a while ago. Um, 2002 to be specific.
Right. Their last album was
The
1999.
Yeah, 1999 was their
Yeah.
that's their last album.
Yeah.
They had a live album after that,
Uh-huh.
but that doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, but yeah, only 2 records released by these guys
Yeah.
and a live album. Um, yeah, dude, fucking We Are the Romans. Just like I listened to that album so fucking much. Um, especially while I was into the mathcore scene, listening to fucking Dillinger and Converge, and fucking all those fucking bands like that. Uh, these guys, they probably aren't talked about too much anymore. I'm sure if you were to find your way down a rabbit hole on Reddit about mathcore or
Mhm.
something, you'll definitely get people who fucking bring them up. But but nowadays, I don't know anybody that knows this band or listens to this band really. So I'm gonna go out and I'll fucking say I think they're underrated just because I feel like more people need to know about them now.
Right.
If you were to ask me this question back in the day, I might have a different answer for you just because it was always like botch, botch, botch,
Okay.
botch. Um, but that was just because I feel like people just wanted them to get back together and put out more music,
Right.
which I definitely was in that fucking boat as well.
Hell yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'll stick with I think they're underrated.
Okay.
I'd like them to get back together. I'd like them to put out new music.
Yeah.
I know they won't, and I'm not upset about it, but I do think more people need to hear their music.
Yeah. Let me be one of those people. They once again showed up on that list of similar artists, as well as I was looking up like what mathcore bands should I listen to? What hardcore bands should I listen to? And out of 80% of the lists that I found on Reddit, on different forums, whatever, Botch usually showed up, and specifically the album that you mentioned, We Are the Romans, that was the one, especially during like Converge, like, hey, I love these guys. What else should I listen to? I'm talking every other fucking post was Botch's We Are the Romans. Like, if you liked old
Yep.
Converge, you want to feel that feeling again, these are the guys to listen to. I had to give it a listen
Yep.
to see if it was appropriate, whatever. I mean, I trust people on the internet, um, when I need to. And this album did not disappoint. It literally reminds me of Norma Jean's "Bless the Martyr," early Converge. Just some of that, like that. It's perfect. It really is.
And the funny thing is that this came before all that.
Exactly. Like the fact that they only needed to drop 2 albums and have this much sway over the genre is just amazing to me. We've had 27 years since this release and people are still, I'm going to say it like this and it sounds like I might skew my answer, but even after 27 years, they have this prowess, this hold on the genre. You might think that I'm going to say that they're overrated. I'm not. I think they're underrated, and whether or not they get back together, as a person who just discovered them today, I need all of you to discover them with me as well. Botch fucking slaps, dude. I love this
Yeah.
fucking album. I'm definitely going to be, when I'm driving, when I'm gaming, when I'm doing anything, these guys are probably going to pop on. This is an awesome band.
Dude,
So,
I actually just forgot too until now.
uh
Um, they did. They had We Are the Romans in 1999. They had that live album in 2006,
uh
but in between that, they did have an EP called An Anthology of Dead Ends, and that is amazing
okay.
and is a very like good look into what Botch could have been if they would have continued.
Uh-huh.
Um, I was always a big fan of the fact that it's a 6-track EP. All of the songs are named after countries, but with the ends changed out for M's.
Yeah, I pulled it up and I'm looking at that right now. That's kind of
So
awesome.
that's pretty funny. Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Hell yeah.
Afghanistan
Right.
is so good.
Nicaragua.
Um, but yeah, the first I think it's Japan. The
Japan.
second track,
Spain.
Japan. Pam Pam.
Right.
Pam.
Pam. I think I can
Pam.
help with this
Yeah.
pan Pam dilemma. I think the N is silent. It's 2 M's.
Yeah.
Right.
Go listen to that track. It's so good,
Hell
dude.
yeah. Which one? Japan?
Japan.
All right. Hell yeah. I got it on right
Japan
now.
Pam.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I man, if they could have just continued with the fucking steam built off of this
Right.
fucking
I
EP.
looked up on their
Holy shit.
Wikipedia to get some like insight on some of their history, and it just sounds like they couldn't come together as a band, essentially. Like everyone had their own visions of what the band should be or what they could do, and with enough
Yeah.
infighting and disagreements, they just split up and everyone went off to do their own fucking thing. I don't know
Yeah.
if any of
Yeah, I
these
mean their guitarist went on
uh
to the band Minus the Bear, which
right.
I mean Minus the Bear's awesome.
Yeah.
Their bass player went on to Russian Circles and Sumac, who are two fucking awesome
Yeah.
bands. Um, their vocalist went on to a band called Roy, which apparently is a country folk band.
Okay.
So I'm not upset anymore um, about the fact that I've never heard of that band.
Yeah.
I was a little worried. I was like,
Bassist.
how have I never heard of that?
Right. Yeah. He went on to do these snakes are or these arms are snakes. So
Oh, all right.
yeah. So they all went on to do their own thing and make their own fucking music
Yeah.
and do what the fuck they wanted to
Bigger,
do.
better things.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's cool. You know what I mean? I just wish that y'all could have decided and just realized that what you were doing was right. Come on. But that I guess that happens in every band. Everyone's got their own ideas. So that's fine. But we got a nice little spread going on. You surprised me a couple times. You gave me some answers I fully expected. I'll go ahead and just run through the list real quick so we all know what you decided on. Um, but starting off with Converge, Ryan thinks that they're underrated, and I agreed with him because fucking Converge rules, dude. We need more of them, and I'm glad that they're doing more stuff. Kubla Khan next up. They are a little overrated because we get too much of them. Just fucking chill out, guys. It's all right. Dillinger Escape Plan, recently reformed and doing new stuff without Greg Puciato. A little overrated because once again we kind of hear you voted overrated, right? I feel like I had
I
missed.
voted underrated.
Oh, you voted underrated. All right, they are
I think I voted
underrated.
underrated.
I'm just gonna go ahead and change an answer because I wrote over, but I think I missed a band and just filled in what I
I
thought
think
you had said.
you said Dillinger is
That's
overrated.
what it was. Yeah, that's fair. You think they're underrated, and fine, you're allowed that. Uh, Next up, we've got Better Lovers. You definitely thought these guys were overrated because, yeah, we're just hearing too much because they have great marketing teams. Also, Many Eyes is way better, but that's just me. We've got Full of Hell. Think they're underrated because once again, we don't hear about enough of them. I think they deserve a little more airtime. Pig Destroyer, better than Cannibal Corpse. They are underrated. Listen to them. Give them a shot. Car Bomb, underrated. Ryan forgot about them until now, and I'm glad I could share this moment with you. We need more Car Bomb. Night Verses, a little bit different than some of the other bands I was listing, but a couple of wheedly woos here and there, like a little mathy, a little shoegazy, a little bit of some. Their Wikipedia page describes them as space rock at one point, and I don't think that's wrong. But Night Verses, underrated. Give them some love. Norma Jean, a fan favorite here at the Riff Report. We think they're overrated because we hear about them quite a bit. Sorry, I love you guys. You need to fix your sound. Death Rattle Sings for Me didn't really rule. And finally, we had Botch. No releases since 2002 that were legitimate. Um, Underrated because nobody talks about them as much. They fucking slap. Check out Botch if you haven't heard of them. There it is. 10 bands. Decided if they were overrated, underrated. I think we had a nice, fair little spread on some of those bands. But we're
Yeah.
gonna move on to our end. We've had a lot of time. This, I think, was our longest after hours. I did not plan that. I did not expect it. We're at an hour already, so buckle in, folks. If you're, or hey, you've already been buckled in if you've been listening this far. But I'm gonna take over on this outro for Ryan, give him a break because he talked so much and gave us a lot of good pointers. But check, you'll expect this after hours episode on Friday. I'm saying it after the point because if you're watching, you would have already known that. But we have our news and release episodes every Wednesday at 9 a.m. We have after hours at 6 p.m. on Fridays. Follow us on social media, please. I'd love to hear from y'all because talking to Ryan doesn't get boring, but I want to talk to some other people. All right. We're just friends, all right? We're not exclusive. We can talk to other people. On Instagram, we are at the riff report. On YouTube, you can find us at the Riff Report News, no spaces. We are leaving no space for you folks. We're in your face all the time. On Tidal, you can find us at the Riff or just the Riff Report, no at. You can listen to our playlists. Our tracks of the weeks are on there. We've got some rotators going on, some fun tracks that we just like. And yeah, we just love to hear from you guys. I did want to throw a little shout out to this dude. Let me find your name real quick. We finally got somebody that wasn't Jordan or Josh to comment on a video. Um, what's your fucking name? Alan
what's
Arcano
what's
at
your fucking name?
Alan SP55. You have one video, and that's fine. I'm not here to tell you what you should post on YouTube or whatever, but give us a nice little comment after our last after hours. It says, "Never give up your dreams." God bless you guys. Fucking God bless you, dude. I love you, man. I don't even know you, and I fucking love you. That was a
Never give up your
real.
dreams, dude.
I'm not, dude. We're doing this every week. We're doing this twice a week. We're uploading and everything.
Whether you watch it or not.
And then on the flip side, like Jordan at Cousin of Man, thanks for commenting quite regularly and arguing with us and putting out your dumb memes on some of our videos and messaging Ryan dumbass sleep token videos. That always makes my day. And Josh, I haven't seen you in a while, but I see you every day. Where you at, man? I want to see some more comments from you. Come on, fill these.
Where you be?
Where you be? Fill these fucking videos with comments and let people know that there are actually people listening to us. We're not just talking to an empty wall. But we do this for the love of the game, not for clout. That's my long-winded little weenie piece of love for everybody. I'd love to hear from more of y'all, and I'm sure Ryan would too. But for now, stay loud, stay angry. Look at Ryan's wiener. We'll catch y'all in the fucking pit.